From our studio and our office at the corner of 8th and Walton in Bentonville, Arkansas, welcome to Saturday Morning Meeting. Brought to you in part by Dun & Bradstreet Credibility Corp., the leading provider of credit and credibility solutions for businesses. Saturday Morning Meeting covers Walmart, Sam's Club, and the consumer product companies that are represented on the racks and shelves throughout the country and around the world. I'm Andy Shook, and thanks for joining us. Today we bring you the best of Saturday Morning Meeting. Past interviews and conversations that are the liveliest, the most insightful, and the most likely to help you become a smarter supplier and a better partner with Walmart. We hope you'll enjoy and profit from our selections for the best of Saturday Morning Meeting. How does a supplier stop drowning in his data? Lisa Bohn of RSI offers some clear solutions.
I'm here today with retail analytics guru Lisa Bohn of RSI. Lisa, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Why don't you give us a little bit of your background and some context?
Great. I basically grew up in the business of direct marketing. I'm from the Northeast. For some of you who can't tell, I'm a New Yorker, born and bred. I was transplanted here for 15 years. But I came up through the direct marketing and telemarketing industry doing database marketing and analytics, which started that passion for turning data into insights. Sam's recruited me to run membership, benefits, credit, and research in 1998. So my family moved here and quickly became involved in the world of Walmart, and really enjoyed my time. I can't think of a more formative, developing environment for me to be in. And then it was time to get a little bit more entrepreneurial, and I ran the Shiloh Technologies team for almost 9 years, working with hundreds of suppliers and helping them advance their analytics and reporting. Spent a brief time with IRI learning the world of syndicated data and helping Walmart charge forward now that they entered the world of data sharing, and helping them leverage that data to outperform their competitors. And then I found my home at RSI, which is where I currently am, because of their vision for where analytics are going. Dovetails beautifully with mine, which is all about integrated information to fuel predictive analytics and to move that business forward away from just Excel reporting.
Got it, got it. So the limitations of Excel. In 2014, we're still talking about spreadsheet junkies and Excel being the primary driver. What are the limitations that you still see with that?
Well, Excel is a great tool. You're always going to want to have it in your kit. It has amazing capabilities, but it can't be the only tool in your kit. The simple volume of data with a retailer like Walmart and with Sam's requires the ability to bring together a lot of data, update it quickly, integrate it with other data, and then produce reports and truly do analytics. And you simply can't do all that manually as effectively as you can with automation. So while Excel is a great tool and should be used, it shouldn't be the only thing used. I would say the 80-20 rule really is what I would recommend to folks, that they focus on analytics 80% of the time and reporting 20% of the time. And until they get there, put improvements in place to get into that state so you can focus on analytics.
How many systems do you see a typical analyst having to deal with? What is the magnitude of the problem that the talent has to deal with?
Well, I'll quote a category manager that I worked with last year, and she looked at me in almost exasperation and said, I have 50 different software packages I have to log into and learn. I can't be an expert at everything. I need something that's easier to use, and I need some automation, and I need some hand-holding, because I can't be the master of all of it. And I thought to myself, 50? Internal systems, external systems, third party, wow, that's a lot. Who could learn all that and be an expert at every one of them?
Right, right. What are you seeing for best practices? How are people managing their way through that?
The best practices mean that you bring together the data, right? So the basic premise I would challenge is that folks need to realize that automation is here, and it's there for a reason. We need to be more efficient, we need to be more effective, we need to get further and faster answering why and what we can do to fix it, and how we go set us up for a successful future. So automation simply means get the data all together with as much automation as you can. Harmonize it. What does that mean, that great fancy word? Line up your data. You know, your items match your items from different sources of data. Line up your geographies, your stores, your DCs, markets, and your calendars, and have that all automated, and have the regular reports. Everybody needs to know what sold, where, and when. but they don't need to spend all their time doing it. So get those things automated, so now you have those exception alerts that limit your business in front of you that you start to act on, instead of I start my day pulling data and massaging reports and spending half my week producing those instead of acting on what I saw coming out of the weekend.
What can the executives take from some of that in terms of what are even the right questions to ask? I mean, are they asking the right questions? Are they getting to meaning in a relatively quick way, or is it just more about the same old reports that they've always used? What do you see?
I think like everything, there's no one answer.
Right.
There's a little bit of all of that going on. There are some teams that have recognized that automation is the key, and then really getting into your company and understanding your business process.
Right.
And I would challenge that the roles of category, sales, supply chain, and retail operations should not work in data silos nor business process silos, because what each of them does affects each other. So bring the data together, map out your business process, map out your short-term requirements and your long-term requirements, and then start to put those together to screen solutions against those. Don't go into it with a blank sheet of paper. And I've seen a lot of teams do that don't quite know how to shop for solutions because they haven't really honed in on the requirements. Key part of the process. You can't hit a target you're not all focused on.
Exactly. So what's the crystal ball look like? What's the next 2 to 5 years look like from what you're saying, given the last 20 years of experience you've had?
Yeah, I think it's about integrated information. So we have what sold, where, and when. We know the transactions going on at the stores. We know what's flowing through DCs if you use DCs. And with data sharing, and now getting into who's the shopper analytics, the causal data, weather data, SNAP, WIC, what's driving, what's your hurricane for your product? Is it a county fair? Is it something local that you don't have your hands around? What's selling at other retailers that you're not carrying, that you're missing the opportunity on? So you have to bring together all of the transaction data, all of the retailer data, all of the third party and causal data that you can, to then move into the, all right, well, who am I selling to? How do they want to be sold to? And how do they want to be delivered?
Lisa, that's a fantastic set of insights on this whole landscape associated with data. Would you come back in the future and talk to us a little bit about what this means for talent, finding the right people?
Oh, I'd love to. This is an area of passion for me. Anybody who knows me, this is what lights me up on fire and gets me going every day, and helping advance us to the kind of skill sets that we need in the future, which, you know, bless the Excel and Access talent in this community. It's well beyond what most people understand, but let's shift those skills into true analytics and driving the business forward with real actionable insights. Love to come back. Thanks.
Great. Thanks for coming in. Saturday morning meeting, we'll be right back.
Retail Solutions is the market leader helping advance reporting and analytics with Walmart suppliers around the globe. We manage the data for you, automate data integration, attribution, and reports, and then help you focus on activities that will drive the most value. To do this, RSI works with you to perform a business value assessment to identify the largest value opportunities in your business. If improving results in sales through better insights and execution and efficiencies are important to you, contact RSI today.
We're here with Henry Ho, a field agent with Retail Insights. Welcome, Henry.
It's good to be here, Andy.
Walmart's five golden principles of shopper marketing. Andy Murray had some meetings here recently, and you were going to share some of that with us today.
Yeah, Andy unveiled Walmart's new shopper marketing framework up in a shopper marketing conference, and there's a lot been written about it. And these 5 principles are going to transform the way I believe suppliers and Walmart and how they're going to work together. So,
what are the implications of that for suppliers? Because I think that's really what we want to get to, isn't it?
Yeah, there's one key thing. I think Andy challenged the audience to say, hey, you need to start looking through the lens of the retailer and not through the manufacturer or from consumers' point of view.
And typically suppliers, that's what they're bringing, is they're bringing their point of view to it, aren't they?
Absolutely. So I think that's going to change that aspect of it. One key thing from an implication standpoint is that customers equals Walmart shopper. It's not about the generic consumer nor the generic shopper. Walmart wants to know about their customers.
Wow, and they need that kind of learnings from the suppliers.
Absolutely. So in order to do that, suppliers need to invest in knowing the customer for their category. So customer insights is going to be very important, and Andy highlighted the importance of insights driving strategy.
So what about, driving trips to stores and bringing category-based customers' insight in? What exactly is that?
These shopper marketing principles don't really change the end goals for Walmart.
Okay.
It's about driving trips and increasing market basket size. So I think suppliers are going to need to innovate shopper marketing to help drive those goals.
Henry, thank you so much for coming in today. This was Retail Insights with Henry Ho, a field agent.
Every day, shoppers are bombarded with traditional brand messages outside the store in hopes that these marketing dollars will drive in-store sales. Closure Media drives retail sales by connecting brands with 95 million Walmart shoppers per year while they are in the store. Through innovative programs at Walmart's photo and money centers, Closure Media converts Walmart shoppers to purchasers of your brand. With reported redemption rates up to 7 times the national FSI average, Closure Media drives sales. For more info, visit us at closuremedia.com.
Next, we meet Erin Fish of Mattel. Erin shares Mattel's story of princesses, little people, Barbie campers, and how they had 3 toys chosen for an exclusive Walmart list. Today, we're here with Erin Fish of Mattel. Erin's here to share with us some of Mattel's exciting holiday promotions and discuss how seasonality impacts the toy business. Welcome, Erin.
Hi.
Yeah, it's good to have you here. So tell us a little bit about Mattel and some of the brands that Mattel owns.
So Mattel is the largest toy manufacturer in the world. We make up a house of brands that go back 56 years.
56, wow.
56 years.
Wow.
So the biggest brand within our portfolio is Barbie.
Oh, yes, Barbie.
Barbie.
Yeah.
We call her the big pink girl. But we also have Hot Wheels and Matchbox. We also have Fisher-Price. So we really can take a child and their parents from when the baby is born all the way up to age 10. So we have fashion dolls with Barbie and Monster High. We have
Monster High, okay,
Monster
I've heard of
High, which is a newer brand. It launched 4 years ago.
Is that more for tweens and?
It's more for your 7 to 10-year-old.
Okay.
It's more focused on collecting, and it's really rooted in having kids celebrate their freaky flaws. So the monsters, we can do a lot of things with Monster High that we don't necessarily do with Barbie. Barbie's all about fashion and her things. I mean, she has the best stuff, right?
She does.
She has a house in Malibu. I mean, who wouldn't want a house in Malibu?
What's the car koozie, or what's it called?
Oh, that's the camper.
The camper with a...
Yeah, we have a camper this year that has a car koozie. Right? Every camper should come with a car koozie.
And every kid should have one of those, right?
Every kid should have one of those.
That's right.
But we also have games within our portfolio. The #1 card game in the world, Uno.
Uno, yeah.
That also makes up our portfolio. And we also have a lot of different licenses. So we have the Disney Princess within our portfolio. We have Cars and Planes, WWE. So we go from girly princesses to bulky wrestlers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So what else do you have in the portfolio?
That pretty much makes up the majority of the portfolio. If we look at our infant preschool side, we also have Minnie and Dora. So that also sits within the girls' world.
On the educational side a little bit?
Yep, absolutely. And then in the boys' world, Thomas. I mean, Thomas is the entrant for the wheels environment, and we sell all of the trains. So we have Thomas.
So Princess is one of your brands that you guys carry.
Right.
And Frozen was a big movie this last year. Tell us a little bit about the promotions you got coming up with that.
Yeah, I mean, Frozen has been remarkable. I think it was bigger than any of us ever predicted. It came out last Thanksgiving, and it has just continued to snowball. No pun intended. But it's just, it's really been an exciting year for us. In November, Disney will be re-releasing the Frozen DVD with a sing-along. And the music has really been a cornerstone in terms of fueling the property overall.
So the movie kind of fuels it, but then you guys developed the toys around it. So last year you developed, what toys did you kind of start off with?
So when we work very closely with Disney, and we co-create and design with Disney, it takes us about 18 months, really, from the design to
so they're
production.
working with you even before the movie
Alongside-
comes out.
absolutely,
And they're already
yep.
Okay. So your innovation, you guys are innovating around that.
Right,
Okay.
absolutely.
But you
So-
haven't seen the movie. You don't really know for sure what the plot is, or some of those things.
Right, yeah. Disney will share with us the direction that they're going. They'll share some of the big scenes, and typically we'll launch, just like we did with Frozen, with core characters within the movie. Sure. So Elsa and Anna were the two princesses that were featured, and then we'll develop the product around that, and we'll typically stick with the core characters and the core big scenes within the movie. That's typically what happens when we launch. Yep, year one, season one actually. Yeah, there's 2 seasons for us within the toy business. We plan for fall and we plan for spring. So yeah, and the reason that we do that is for the toy business specifically, the majority of the business is done in the back half, obviously centered around the holidays.
Sure.
And parents tend to spend more money in the back half of the year. So our line typically is you'll have different price points in the fall than you would in the spring.
Gotcha. Okay. So when an item like this came out last year, did you have this type of a figurine where it's going to be ice skating and doing those types of things, or is that kind of innovation for this year?
This is innovation for this year. Okay. So last year we launched with our core princesses. We call them our Sparkle Princess dolls, and it's the core Anna and Elsa. We also had Kristoff. He was one of the guys in the movie. And then for this fall, our newest innovation is the skating dolls.
So a movie comes out.
Yep.
You're not really sure if it's going to be a hit or not, right?
Right.
Although, when you guys kind of saw the beginnings of it, did you think, okay, this is it? This is the one?
The thing about Frozen, which is interesting, is that it really took off in the spring. And after. So it launched in, Thanksgiving weekend, and the toys did well. But as the music was more seated, I want to say, within society.
Well, YouTube videos. There was all kinds of excitement around.
Jimmy Kimmel and the Roots. Kind of reworked
so it almost gave it
one
a
of the
second,
songs.
a second life, didn't it?
Absolutely. And then Olaf, who was the singing snowman who loves warm hugs in summer, he just, I think he really resonated with kids. And as they consumed more and more of what I say the digital content, the toys continued to accelerate. And we have been chasing to try to keep up ever since.
And do you feel like, does it always correlate well? If the movie's successful, the toy will definitely be successful?
It really depends. When we developed the line for our movie, we try to get it as close to kind of the core characters and the key scenes in the movie. But sometimes, we'll have an incredible movie that will have a record-breaking box office, and the toys just don't do as well. Yeah. And it's, sometimes it's a slam dunk, sometimes it's a mini slam dunk.
Yeah.
So it's at times a little hard to plan for.
So when we come back, I want to hear about how some of Mattel's toys made the chosen buy list, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. But first, let's take a quick break.
K-Stack, the leader in collaborative retail consolidation programs. We offer the supply chain expertise needed to navigate the challenges of selling products with the world's largest retailers. And we provide customers with a customizable, scalable, environmentally sustainable supply chain with the same advanced technology typically used by larger rivals. By leveling the playing field, K-Stack lowers distribution costs and increases overall margins. K-Stack, retail logistics is what we do.
Bentonville Commerce, less than 1 mile from the Walmart home office. You'll love the convenience, amenities, and customized options Bentonville Commerce offers. For more information, call 479-659-1260 today.
Okay, so before the break, we talked about the Princess toys, but now we're going to talk about chosen buy with Walmart.
Yeah.
So the kids have voted now, and Mattel had some toys that were chosen.
Yes.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about that.
So I think this is one of the best parts of my job is having kids play with toys. And then we get to sell those toys, those top toys that kids pick at Walmart. It really is. I mean, Mattel's all about creating the future of play, and there's nothing better.
You put all these toys together, but you don't know for sure if the kids are going to play with them or not.
Right,
so
absolutely.
That's your whole dream, right?
So that's our whole dream. So we will present, the way Chosen By works is we will present our fall product line to the merchant team. And at that same time,
So right now, you're actually presenting for next year?
Yes.
2015.
So right now, we actually, a couple weeks ago, we presented our fall 2015 product line, and we already put our message out there in terms of the toys we think should be candidates for Chosen By.
Based on your research, the focus study groups you've done with kids, some of the things that you've done.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, we have play labs, and the kids come in and they play with the toys, and we see how they test. And also, any of those kind of wow toys that they do something that nothing else in the marketplace currently does.
Right.
So we'll put those on the list. And what Walmart does is they will pare down the candidates, and then they'll send.
So about how many toys did they bring into that?
They bring in about anywhere from 40 to 50 toys.
Okay. And different age groups?
Different age groups. It'll go everything from, they'll start with a year to 3 years from an infant toddler perspective, and then they'll move up all the way to 10 plus. And they have about 1,000 kids who will come in and they'll play with all the toys.
Picturing 1,000 kids running around playing with toys. How do they even keep track of who's playing with what?
Well, they have these different stations.
Okay.
This last year it happened in Dallas, and they had the kids come in and they had all the toys spread out, and they were able to play with all the different toys. And I think what's great about it is that Walmart also will film the kids playing with the toys, and they'll talk to the kids playing with the toys. And then all of that content, they will take that and they'll repurpose it on Walmart.com. They'll put it in social media.
So it's
they'll
kind of
use
a
their TV
confirmation
spots.
for those that are maybe going to buy those toys to know that those kids were playing with it, how they liked it, what they liked. Okay.
And this is not a top toy list selected by Walmart. This is a top toy list chosen by kids.
Chosen by.
Chosen by kids.
Wow.
And we actually have, for 2014, we have 3 toys that made the Chosen by Kids list.
And they are?
They are. Of course, we have to talk about the Pink Lady, Barbie.
Yes.
We have the Barbie Camper, which is a fantastic toy. We talked about it earlier. It has the car koozie and lots of fun things to play with. We also have, I think, probably one of the coolest toys that's out there in the marketplace right now, which is the Hot Wheels Street Hawk. It is a car, an RC car that drives on the ground and flies in the air.
That is too cool.
Amazing.
I mean, I've seen the ones that go on the ground but then go in water.
Yeah.
But is this the first one to actually fly?
Well, I'm sure there's a few other things out there that fly, but this one, like, drives on the ground and then flies through the air. It's amazing. We showcased it at Denver. The store managers thought it was amazing.
Yeah.
And it's a Chosen by Kids. The kids liked it too.
Yeah.
The last toy that was selected is from our Fisher-Price line, Little People, which is, has been in our portfolio for years and years and years. It's the Little People preschool.
Okay.
And Little People are made just for that, for little people.
Yeah.
Toddlers, they're chunky, it's interactive, you can take the characters and move them around the preschool, and it interacts with...
18-month-old, is that?
Perfect.
Oh,
it is
good,
perfect
good,
for an
good.
18-month-old.
So does having a top-performing toy create any inventory challenges? How does that work when you come into the season?
Well, I mean, it's a collaborative process, right? So we work very closely with our Walmart merchant team, our planners, and replenishment teams to kind of call a number. But I think one of the biggest challenges within the toy business is 60% of the year is done in the fall. And of that 60% that's done in the fall, 40% of it is done in the month of December. So if something really takes off and you're chasing that inventory, you only have, so many weeks that you can get those trucks to those stores and get product on the shelf.
Right. And what advice would you give another supplier that they're gearing up for holiday season, or maybe they're looking at 2015 and coming in? What advice would you give them?
I think the biggest advice that I would give, and it has been probably a key learning for me, is place your bets. So, you can't love all your children equally.
Yes.
And take all of the data that you have at your disposal in terms of comp items, your initial reads, and place those bets and place them early.
Oh, that's great. Hey, thanks so much for sharing about this fun topic, Erin. This is great. A lot of great information. A lot of stuff going into the seasons. We got the toy season coming up, and we're looking forward to that. Saturday morning meeting will continue shortly.
Bentonville Plaza, across the street from the Walmart home office. The best office location offers proximity and services like no other business complex in the area. Call 479-659-1260 today. Become a smarter supplier. Take 8th and Walton's Beginning Retail Link class. Designed for both the beginner and the super wanting a refresher, this course takes a hands-on approach to the most common aspects of Retail Link. In this one-day course, you'll learn how to navigate Retail Link with ease, how to personalize your dashboard, and how to build a basic query. Become a smarter supplier. Contact 8th and Walton today.
We hope you've enjoyed this broadcast, the best of Saturday Morning Meeting. Keep in mind that Saturday Morning Meeting is broadcast on KNWA NBC twice each week. Saturday nights at 6:30 p.m. after the news and before prime time, and Sunday mornings at 5 a.m. That 5 a.m. spot is a great time to record our show and the outstanding business show that follows it, On the Money. And you can find all of the shows at 8thandwalton.com and YouTube too. Plus, there's podcasts on iTunes. We're there as well. Remember that you can stay on top of all Walmart news by going to walmartnewsnow.com, the 8th and Walton retail news aggregate. That's where we do all the research for you. Our editors scour magazines and newspapers from around the world for stories of significance to suppliers, and they post those stories each day, always giving you links to the original writings. And if you want to learn still more, check out the blogs on 8th and Walton. These posts provide an education in themselves for everyone wanting to learn or excel in retail. As always, we appreciate your taking the time to join us. If you have questions or comments, we'd love to hear from you. I'm Andy Shook, and from all of us at Saturday Morning Meeting, thanks for watching. Our guests enjoy staying at 21C Museum Hotel and hosting dinners, meetings, and product launches there.
I walk in every day and I just take a deep breath and I'm like, I can't believe where it's gone, where it's come to. Blood, sweat, and tears, and then some. Everything to build the company where it's at. I'm Billy Westbrook, and Scrub Blade is an idea I had. I wondered, why don't wiper blades scrub your windshield? If they're going back and forth, why don't they scrub the windshield while they're doing it? You know, I was making barely any money to survive. I was living on an air mattress at a friend's house, completely stripped down to nothing. It's just me. I was like, I'm going to give this 100% and see what happens with it. And that was in 2006. It's 2014 now, and I've never stopped. In the journey of Scrub Blade, we had a huge opportunity to do a big test with Walmart. And if I would have worked all those 8 years and neglected my business credit, I would have had the biggest opportunity of our journey. Dun & Bradstreet Credibility is a huge partnership for Scrub Blade. They share the knowledge really well, go through your credit rating with you and explain what this means and what that means. We're starting a big test with AutoZone, and I mean, they're the largest automotive retailer in the world. It's gonna take our company to the next level and beyond. What drives me, what keeps me going, is my family. Yeah. My job is to take care of my family, and it gives me a lot of pride to know that I can do that. And at the same instance, Dun & Bradstreet Credibility is taking care of me, or my entity, Scrub Blade. I mean, it's still a small company, but big in my eyes. We want to have fun with it. We want to bring people in along for the journey. You know, life's a journey. Get a clearer view. That's what Scrub Blade's tagline is, and it means everything.